There he is.
Hey,
You in a camper?
are we recording?
Yeah, we're on live. Been waiting. Well, I didn't wait for you.
Oh, okay.
I was, I said 7, and sometimes there's a little trouble at the beginning trying to get everything worked out right.
Well, the number you gave me was wrong. The meeting number was wrong.
Yeah, I know. I put a 2 in instead of a 3.
Yeah,
And I thought I checked to make sure I got the right number, but I guess I didn't check good enough.
that's all right. Just you and me?
That's just you and me. Todd and Buck G are in the chat. They know they got an invitation here if they want to come in. They said they just got home, so maybe they got to get things settled in or whatever.
Well, it's been a busy couple of days.
Oh
so.
yeah. And I just wanted to get on a visit, and there was a lot of comments yesterday after everything was over with about we were all kind of drowned out by OCT, but that was understood. I mean, we called OCT in because they are a big organization, and we couldn't have put something that big together on our own.
Well, most of the OCT guys are also First Amendment guys.
Yeah.
So I don't think that anybody was drowned out.
And that might not be the best word for it, but we didn't push it on purpose.
Right.
We asked them to come in and help us, and basically said, y'all take control of this. It's y'all's organization that's come in with all these people. We couldn't have done that big of an event on our own. So
I agree. They as an organization, they are very, very organized, and
I respect them, and I had no problems letting them take over the reins.
Nor did I. I mean, we knew when we had CJ come in that we were handing off to them. There's no power struggle here. It's more like a mutual aid kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And they handled it.
Between organizations.
Yeah, they handled it very well. They organized it well. I was very impressed with that whole deal.
And it went very well. I know there was a lot of different things going around, that this group was going to show up and that group was going to show up and they're going to cause problems, and people weren't about the most corrupt police department in Texas, maybe getting carried away and deciding.
Honestly, the only thing I was worried about was Olmos Park PD. That is the only thing I was worried about. There were some counter protesters that showed up there. I actually went and talked to them. Yeah, it was like 5 of them, 6 of them, but that's not the point. I went and talked to them, and there were a couple of the open carry guys that came over and were engaging them and arguing more than discussing. And I just ensured that they were not having any issues expressing their opinion too, because they have that right. They had as much right to be there as we did. And I'm happy to say that nobody tried to infringe on them or call them names or anything like that. They were treated respectfully, and I was pleased with that as well.
Yeah, somebody in the chat just said there was a report that Antifa was going to be there, and they originally had planned on it. They had a page up to be there, and then
they've done that. They've done that with Open Carry Texas every time they've had an event, and they never show up.
They showed up one time, and they were done.
Oh, did they actually show up one time?
Yeah, in Austin, and Ahmad dealt with them, and they ran him off, and I don't think they wanted any more to do with OCT. I think they kind of learned their lesson.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've been kind of watching to see what's going on in the chat. I'm going to ask you a question. The best part about the whole day, was getting everything accomplished, but the most fun I had the whole day was visiting with all those new people that I hadn't met, the supporters, the other auditors that I hadn't met yet, on both sides, OCT and NAIR, and our supporters and First Amendment auditors. That was the most fun I had.
You know, I was surprised when I walked through that crowd at how many people knew who I was.
Me too. That's what I was telling everybody earlier.
Even more than surprised, I was shocked. You know, but it was, you know, as I talked to people, I came to understand that's you know, that the Second Amendment guys are all about the First Amendment guys too. I mean, so many of them watch and support us. You know, I like I said, I was really honored to be there, and you know, just all the support was awesome.
Well, I got, as you know, I got there earlier, and I was talking to people, and some of the people were obviously OCT because of what they were carrying and wearing and all that.
Right.
But there was a lot of them that weren't, and at first I started to assume that most of those people were there for OCT, and you know, most of them were. That's probably not the best way to put it, but I misjudged how many of those OCT people knew who we were. I really didn't think we were going to be that well known in that group, but we are.
Yeah.
And so when I was talking to people, I was kind of approaching them, the ones that weren't obviously OCT, that they were there because of through us, and I found out they weren't. They just knew about us through OCT and supported what we were doing. Basically, you know, what you were saying. That was amazing, and you know, you're a lot more known than I am, so I figured I kind of expected you to be better known than I, and you were. But the amount of people that knew who I was.
Well, you know, you've been out and worked with me. You're better known than you realize. You know, you kind of fell off there for a little while, and you were doing a lot of stuff for Nair, kind of behind the scenes and stuff. And Jack and Todd were still out front, so their faces are more known than yours. But you know, there are plenty of people know exactly who you are. And you do these live stream things, you know, where you get the multiple people on here to discuss things and publish those, and I think those are great. I think those are. I wish we could do more of those. I think people enjoy the opportunity to get on here and interact with the auditors and get to know us, you know, beyond the videos.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty important thing to do, and that's why I started doing it, to give people an opportunity to ask questions, to get to know us better. I think they want to know us better, because when you support somebody, you want to get to know them as best you can, so you feel comfortable supporting them. And that's part of what we do here when we do this kind of stuff. Just kind of visit with people, answer questions, maybe get some new information out.
Well, and the one-on-one, I mean, a lot of people, I'm dumbfounded when people they look at me and talk to me like I'm some kind of movie star, and,
yes,
you know, some mythical character or something, you know. And so having the opportunity to interact with them in any forum is always good, because then they see I'm just a guy with a camera. I'm just human, just like everybody else.
Yeah, and to me, I can kind of understand it, but I have let me put it this way. I don't understand the autograph thing, and I'm glad nobody asked me for an autograph, and I hope nobody ever does. But I think these famous people don't mean anything to me. They don't mean anything to me. Now, with that said, if John Wayne was still alive and I met him, I would probably ask him to autograph me a picture.
Or Steve McQueen.
Or Steve McQueen and Clint Eastwood. Yeah, maybe, you know. But I'm not even sure about those two. But John Wayne is, you know, I grew up with him, and he was like a hero and all that. And I know he was human, but I'm just going by the things he portrayed on the different movies he did, basically. You know, and he did believe in the Constitution and people's rights and being treated fairly and all that. Even though some of the old westerns, even though I love the old westerns, it was like, you know, those cops were, I mean, the sheriffs and all that were a little out of control. In fact, if they were alive doing that shit now, we'd be on our ass about it. So, but it was still fun, and it was a movie. And although that was still in this day and age, it was a while back. Because in this day and age, has always been here and always will be. That's why I hate this day and age. You can say that about pick a time in the history of the United States that wasn't this day and age.
Well, but terrorism too. Everybody acts like terrorism is new.
Yeah, it's not.
Terrorism. After World War II, we had terrorists. After the Korean War, we had terrorists. After Vietnam, we had terrorists. You know, when I was in the military in Germany, we had terrorists. I mean, terrorism is nothing new.
Well,
it's been around forever.
English considered us terrorists back when we were trying to earn our freedom.
Well, the whole thing about being a terrorist is it depends on which side of the coin you're on. You know, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. Yeah. There are all these government people that call us terrorists. You know, I don't know where they get that.
No. Well, I know that comes from their mindset that they are in charge. They are the authority.
Well,
I am going to request something real quick from all you auditors out there. When you do an audit, try to refrain from calling them authority figures or using authority in there. They are servants and nothing more. At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Arabs were hijacking planes in the 70s. Yes, they were. And remember the Vietnam days and the protests there, you know, and there was bombings there too.
Well, when it comes to terrorists, the government needs terrorism, okay, in order to get their control. So the government workers need that to feed their narrative on, you know, we need more police. We need more resources. We need to watch people more. Well, now their latest thing from Homeland Security is they're creating a database of all the media types.
Yes.
Okay. Especially independent media. Yes. And what they're targeting are the people they can't control. The people that go out and tell the truth and show videos to demonstrate the truth. And that prevents them from controlling the narrative. And the government hates that. They hate when they can't lie and get away with it.
Yeah. And it's not a good thing that they're treating it that way, but it's a good thing there's a lot of us out there doing that, and more are coming all the time. And the way it's just what we're doing is growing. I can imagine the other groups that are growing, doing their thing their way, you know.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to stop it. I don't care how much they hate it. I mean, it's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And sooner or later, they're going to have to, the people are going to win, as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully it's a peaceful way.
Like we're already winning.
Yeah.
We're already winning. Look at Olmos Park. It's a perfect example. We're already making them change. We're forcing them because they won't do it on their own. They had several opportunities when it comes to Olmos Park in this particular chain of events. They had multiple opportunities to change course and stop what they were doing. City government was notified what these guys were doing and didn't care enough to intervene.
In fact, in their own way, kind of swept it underneath the rug. They just, okay, we'll give them this. We'll get rid of the ordinance, you know, and that'll be the end of it. Well, the ordinance wasn't really what it was all about in the first place. It was about out-of-control police and how they handle things.
Correct.
Which I think kind of got lost in the message yesterday, but it was there. It was mentioned several times, but I think everybody kind of focused on the gun thing a lot. And although the gun thing was the weapon, you know, I don't know. It was important, but it wasn't the main thing. The main thing is you will learn how to treat people right. You will learn how to pay attention to the law and uphold it and the Constitution, or we will force you to.
Exactly. Have you got your speakers on?
Yeah. Can you hear something, kind of feedback or something?
No. I just heard something in the background. Hey, Sandy.
Oh, yeah. She can hear you. I didn't realize she could hear you because I got my earphones in, but I didn't turn the big speakers off.
Okay.
Oh, she can hear me, but can't hear y'all. Okay.
She can't hear. Okay.
All right, now it's David. Who's now?
David.
She said hello.
Sound like I'm rubbing your little cheeks.
Oh, she did this scruffy dog thing with my beard thing here.
Yeah, it was nice to have her out there yesterday. Like I said, that wasn't really her first time out. She was with me in Olmos Park a few days before, and I was having trouble. She was like my backup, and I was checking things out around there, and I was having trouble live streaming. So I decided it was best to leave because she's never dealt with this kind of stuff really, and without somebody really knowing what was going on, they could, help me out.
Oh no, the last person on this planet they want to mess with is her.
Oh yeah,
she would set them fools straight. We'd have had to shut the rally down. She'd have taken care of the whole situation by herself.
He said the last thing they would want to do is mess with you. We wouldn't have needed the rally. They would have had to deal with you.
You do not want to tell me. I fuck that.
That's what I've been worried about taking her with me, because if they ever put their hands on me, she'd come unglued.
Yeah, we won't have a chance to do anything. She'll shut the whole thing down.
Yeah. So I made sure she showed up late.
We won't have any good videos.
We'll have about 5 seconds of them running like little bitches. Like they did yesterday.
Oh my God, if I can just grab one of those guns, I'm a good shot.
Did you see that Patrick went back there this morning? They were all there. They were hiding inside and wouldn't open the door.
No, I was telling everybody earlier, I haven't had a chance to get caught up with all the videos.
Okay. I just watched that when it came up just because, yeah, he went back there this morning. All the patrol cars are back. The fire engines are back. He's beating on the door, and they're peeping out the blinds at him like dope fiends. But they would not open the door. They would not engage him at all. That's it. That's it.
Supposedly, James had some kind of interaction with him, and he dismissed him. But I haven't seen that video either, so I don't know. It was kind of neat to meet James because we've had some contact in the past, but never met. And,
I've actually worked with James.
Yeah, I've seen you work with him, but I never got a chance to.
Yeah.
And I got to meet Chief for the first time, and we've done, I pulled Chief into this a long time ago.
I like Chief.
And yeah, my wife likes Chief, and he did a good old, just one of us folks.
Yeah, he's all right for somebody that carries a heckler and cock.
He's got a hearty appetite.
Yeah, he does have a hearty appetite.
Yeah, he said that he agrees with me. He likes CZs. He said he'd gladly change over if somebody else would buy it for him.
Yeah, Chief's a character, and I like him. But,
I was surprised at how many retired police officers showed up at that event. There were 4 of them that I know of.
I met 3, and I heard of 2 others.
Yeah, somebody told me that there were 2 or 3 others. So there may have been as many as 8 retired police officers out there. And then, of course, we had all the undercover police officers in the crowd that were out there. I caught one of them. I confronted him, and he couldn't deny it. He just smiled. He's like, don't worry about it, dude. We're happy to have you here.
Yeah. Yeah, not a problem. Let's see, what else is going on? James interviewed one of the residents. Yeah, I got to catch up on some of these videos maybe tonight or tomorrow. In meeting some of the new local guys, we've got several new local people that I already knew about 2, but there were several more that want to get involved that I met. And you got to try to get around to meeting them and getting to know them a little bit better and see if they'll fit in.
Well, there's going to be more open carry walks there in Olmos Park.
Oh, yeah.
It won't be like yesterday, but, just be groups of 5 to 10. But it's going to continue to ensure that they behave.
Hopefully they'll let us know when, and we'll make sure there's plenty of cameras watching.
There you go.
And we may even join them in because we don't just do the first.
Right. I'll be glad to come out there and walk with them. But I think like Jack needs to get some of his guns back because I think he's running low on guns. I think they got 3 of his guns right now.
Could be.
I think it's 3.
I know of 2. There might be a 3rd one. I'm not sure.
I think it's 3, if I'm not mistaken. So,
now they'll end up getting them back, but they're going to make sure that it takes as long as possible.
Well, Temple held C.J. Grisham's .45 that they took from him for 4 years. It took him 4 years to get that back. That's ridiculous.
And that was partially because of the court case went out for so long that gave him the opportunity to screw him over that way. But that's
well, they kept it after the criminal charge was dismissed. They kept it while he was doing the civil case.
Right.
What the hell?
They used that for an excuse, and that's that same old stuff we talked about: contempt of cop and contempt of DA. And judges, in the most part, local judges aren't any better. So.
Well, they can. They're going to have to take 3 or 4 from me before I start running low.
Well, I got a bunch of them. I got some more that aren't here that I can pull in. I need to.
In this day and age, you got to have a bunch.
Yeah, and in this day and age, you better not have them all in one place.
Yeah, there is that too. Yeah, I really thought, that 44 I had with me yesterday, I would have hated if they had confiscated it because that's one of my favorites. But yeah, I was up for it. I went out looking for them, and they were nowhere to be found.
They don't understand.
Did you see that guy dressed up like a Minuteman that was out there?
Yeah.
That had that dang long-ass musket. That damn musket was as long as I am tall.
Have you ever picked up
it was
one of
taller than him.
Yeah. You ever handled one of those things? They're heavy as hell.
Never.
I shot several of them. I used to do a lot of back powder shooting too, but those things are heavy. Let's see, anything going on in there? Yeah, there's a few comments here and there. Let's talk about NAIR a little bit, and what their place was in there. As we said, we didn't push it there, but NAIR was who, with Jack and Todd and Buck G and what happened to them, and us there filming and testing how things would go over there. That's where we came in, and then we supported OCT with whatever we could, and that's part of what NAIR is going to do. Yes, we were. OCT would have never known about it if we weren't there and did what we did.
Correct.
Of course, it was Jack and Todd and Southside Slacker and Buck G that took the brunt of it. But
they're all NAIR members, so
yeah, they're all
and even when CJ and Jim got arrested, well, CJ got his bond was posted by Self-Defense Fund, but NAIR posted Buck G and Jim's bond. I mean, that's so we're moving forward with NAIR. We're still a little disorganized, but we're getting it together, and I think it's a good thing. It's proving to be valuable. Bunny Boots got arrested. We were prepared to post his bond and assist him. We ended up not needing to because he got a personal recognizance bond. But like I said, it's taken a little time to get up and running, but we're crawling at this point.
Yeah,
but we'll be walking soon.
Yeah,
we'll be walking soon, and after that, we'll be running.
And but right now, we got to get all the legal stuff behind us, and that's gonna cost us some money. So we're trying to put that together. But a lot of the money in the different people that are organized here their money's going to lawyers right now. So
right,
but we'll get there. I'm gonna, I've been helping other people. Like I helped a few get here into town for this, and I've helped some other people travel, and I've helped some other people with equipment. But I'm gonna pull back on that for a while, and I need some new equipment. I need some couple of upgrades, but most of mine is going to be going into a fund from there, so we can get the lawyer stuff straightened out and paid for.
Just so you know, and we'll do a little free ad here. Best Buy has the Canon HFR 800 Vixia, which is the updated version of my camera. They have it on sale right now for $209 for anybody that needs a good camera. That's a good price.
That's a good price. Yeah. Let's see the question here from NJ Driver. Have you incorporated? We are looking into incorporating In fact, I talked to Teresa yesterday, and I don't think I shared this with you yet, but she has somebody that can probably help us with that.
Yes, I was there when that conversation took place.
Okay. There was so much that went on yesterday, I can't keep everything straight, but good. She's going to help us with that, or she's going to look into it, see what she can do, maybe save us some money, and get a bunch of it done without spending much money. And that would be a great help, because really, you know, that's what's holding us back right now. I think we pretty much decided what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. It's just the money that's slowing us down, but we'll get there.
Yeah, funding is tight, but we're getting there. It's coming around.
Yeah. Let's see, Mike, keep blowing me off. Okay, I'm not really sure what that means, but sometimes you lose track of. I mean, you read something, you don't know in context where it went. So, in that one, I'm not sure exactly where it went. 209. Let's see. They're talking about what you just said, the camera for 209. Anybody have any questions for me or David? Can you see the chat where you're at, David?
No. No, I can't see
it. Mitch is asking if SAPD is almost as bad as Almost Park. They're bad.
No.
They are really bad, but
in
not
a different
to that
way.
level. Not to that level. Not even close. But they are still on our radar, and we still have some testing to do to see if the chief was as big a liar as I think he is about them not using that
that statute.
Ordinance, that
yeah.
Ordinance. All right. Because last year, you know, we caught them a couple of times, you know, misusing that ordinance or upholding that ordinance when they're not supposed to. So we'll see. You know, when he said that they're not doing that anymore, I don't know if he means just recently they stopped doing it, or if it was.
Well, this whole thing with Olmos Park has blown up, and I think he put out a memo reminding those guys that the law is invalid. It's not. It doesn't preempt state law. So I think that was a recent thing that, you know, I think they have said that before, and of course there are still some that'll try to enforce it just so they can do whatever they're trying to do. But I believe that they're working to get that repealed in San Antonio as well, which was part of why we brought in OCT. A lot of people don't know this, but OCT has been planning to challenge that for a while and just hadn't had an opportunity to really step on it, to get on it. And so this was a roundabout way to get that started.
Yeah,
and it was more successful than any of us ever imagined.
Yeah, I know there was some people saying 800, 1,000, and then all kinds of different numbers. I didn't want to put any number on it. I was not even sure where we would be in numbers when it came to comparison with the first one in Temple. And I really don't know what the numbers were in Temple. But when I looked
400.
When I looked at what they had and remember what they had and looked back at my videos and from then and today, it was pretty close. So,
well, according to OCT's official count, the biggest rally they've ever had was just over 400 people, and we had several people counting yesterday, and we were right up just under 600.
All right. Well, my best number was 540.
Yeah, it was just under 600. It was between, everybody gave numbers of between 540 and 570.
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, my wife, her last count was 540. But that was when we got to the police department. But there were still people up by the circle. And I don't know how many of those people were included or weren't included in the count. So I would rather underestimate than overestimate. But if there was 600, there's 600. That's
well,
good.
And there were a lot of people that couldn't walk that stayed in their vehicles and just rode through. You know, so there, I honestly believe, yeah, I honestly believe that the numbers are right when they say closer to 600. I really believe that those numbers are right.
Let's see. What post processing video do you use? I just use Windows Movie Maker. I don't do anything special.
That's the same thing I use, Windows Movie Maker. It's got to be easy. It's got to be easy for me to use.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people like the really fancy, well orchestrated, put together videos, but I hate editing.
Yeah, that's me.
Absolutely hate it.
People don't understand if you've never edited a video like we do. Okay, so keep in mind, I'm running a body camera, a main camera, and a secondary camera. That's 3 cameras. If I'm on scene for 40 minutes, okay, that's 40 minutes worth of footage from each camera that I have to go through. And before I can go through it, it has to be converted on the Movie Maker for editing purposes. You know, it is all so time consuming. You would not believe. I mean, typically a 10-minute video takes me about an hour and 20 minutes to put together.
It's about the same, you know?
Yeah.
And depending on, you know, which camera's rolling and got the best video off of this camera at this particular moment, and then over there at this, basically how to go through all of them to see which has got the best audio, video. If you miss something on one, then you got to grab it off the other. It's a pain in the butt. My hat's off to those that have the patience and time to do that. I just, although I'd probably have the time, I don't have the patience, and it would take away the time that I want to spend
with Sandy,
checking out new channels and visiting with people, and you know. Maybe I ought to teach Sandy how to edit video and let her do it.
I don't think so. I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to teach you how to
I think that's an absolute no.
vacuum and, yeah.
Oh, well, I tried. It didn't work.
One very good try.
Let's see. Radical reactors out there. Windows Movie Maker is so slow. Yeah, it is slow, but it's easy.
Hey, that computer that I've got now, the Tower, it is far and away faster than the laptop I was using. It used to be the laptop I was using. I mean, a 10-minute video would probably take me a couple of hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. Now I can do a 10-minute video, and this is with editing and watching the videos and everything. Like I said, in a little over an hour. So I'm pleased.
This one, I mean, I used to have the old laptop that was, God, it was slow with Windows Movie Maker, but this new PC, man, it just so much better. It's fast.
Yeah.
It processes the videos pretty quick, even with Windows Movie Maker, and you don't have to remember a whole bunch of fancy little things to make it do whatever you want. The
most important thing to me is I don't have to learn a new system.
Yeah, I just, you know, there's enough to learn and enough to keep up with without doing that for me. But that's my personal opinion. Like I said, my hat's off to those that'll have the patience to sit there and really put something special together. I just don't. Yeah. Let's see.
Well, and now I was inspired by Philip with his drone footage. Have you seen any of his drone footage?
I saw some of it. Yeah.
I am wow. I am flabbergasted by that. And then a traffic stop that we filmed and never left Todd's driveway. Got a traffic stop that was over a mile away. Man, I'm really thinking I'm going to go get a drone. That Mavic Pro that he has is awesome, and it's $1,000 drone.
Yeah,
but
$1,000 or $1,200, I don't remember, something in that range.
I looked them up there. You can get them for around $900, but then you get the accessories and everything. It's just about $1,000. If I can get funding for that, I'm going to go get one.
Hey,
heads up, subscribers. Anybody wants to donate a Mavic Pro for me, I'm all for it.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever go that way, even though those things are cool. I got other places for my money that I mean, like Nair, I want to get that done. And that's where my money's going to go from now. And then I also, that old camera that I got was, when they destroyed my one in San Antonio when they attacked me, I got another one. I got the cheapest one I could. And it's working, but the bottom end where, you know, you put your attachments to screw in and that's all screwed up. I want to be able to have a little bit better camera and a little bit more function, but I don't want anything real fancy. But I want to get a new that. And I've got some other things for streaming I'm looking into. It'll make it a little bit easier for that. So, you know, I got some things I'm looking into. But yesterday, after pushing myself through that, and I'm going to tell everybody halfway through, I did not know if I could do it, but I made promises to be there, and I made promises to keep those cameras on David, Ahmad, and I just said I made promises. I got to do it, so I did, and I made it. But man,
Well,
did I pay the price?
A lot of people don't realize, we had that in place as a safety net, so that if anybody came after him, because he would be, of all the people there, there are three or four that they would have targeted, and he was one of them. So that's was the main purpose of having you close to him.
And that's one reason I didn't live stream. Well, I said this I think earlier before, but I'll say it again while you're here. One, I didn't live stream because so many other people were, and I used live stream for the most part for protection. Well, there was so many live streamers going, I figured we had that covered. And I didn't want to mess with dealing with live stream while I'm just trying to make sure my cameras are on where they're supposed to be. So
right.
I just left it alone. Probably could have made some pretty good money on live streaming yesterday, but Did
you see we were trending #1 on Google all day yesterday, all through most of last night?
Yeah, if you put Olmos in, it came in at the top.
Yep. I haven't checked today to see where it's at, but yeah.
I don't either. I thought about editing my videos last night when I got home to try to catch that trend, but I was too tired.
Yeah, as soon as I get off of this, I'm going to get the videos up. I didn't live stream either.
Yeah.
I'm going to process the videos and get the videos up. I actually went solo. The PD had said they were going to target certain activists, and we knew who they were targeting. So I went out solo and gave them an opportunity. Well, unfortunately, almost part PD had evacuated the area.
Yeah.
So I got to go through the neighborhood by myself, looking at some really nice, fine homes. And you guys know how I am. I always, when I see something interesting like that, I stop and photograph it. So I got some pictures of some of the homes there that I'm going to mix into my video.
Let's see. Oh, I missed it. Anyway, in the chat. I think everybody probably already knows this, but not only did the fire department have all the fire trucks gone, which we discussed, I think, was because they
were afraid to get blocked in.
They didn't want them to get blocked in, right? But every damn police car was gone, and we did not see one Olmos cop anywhere. Now we did see a few people poking through the police department blinds yesterday, but they were basically nowhere to be found.
And that's sad because they had an opportunity. They could have come out and done some PR work to clean this mess up. Nobody expected them to admit any guilt or anything. They could have just come out and said, "Man, you know what? We're working on it. It could have been handled better." There's any number of things, to really, get in touch with the people, and of course they didn't do that. And a good portion of the problem with that is Valenciano himself. He has no experience. He has no ability to communicate with the public. He's really good at being a tyrant, and that's it.
All right. I think, well, Jack and Black Label have been out all day. I think he just noticed the invitation on the chat. Let's see what time ago that was. Not too long ago. Let me send him a message.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, when you post this, I'm gonna pull a part of it and post on my channel and send everybody.
David, send them over. Anytime we do some of this together, you're welcome to any of it you want. And
Okay.
even if you're not here, if you want anything off my channel, you're always welcome to it. All right. If it makes you feel better, ask, but you don't have to.
It's just I'm in the habit of asking.
Yeah.
I just
I understand that. That's why I added that little last part in there. And I'm the same way. I'd prefer to ask. You know. Yeah. News Now Houston cannot see the chat. He's on I think you're on your phone.
Yes.
So why didn't you turn it sideways?
Does that make me see the chat? No.
No, but it gives us a better picture of you and your puppy dog.
Oh, does it? Okay.
I don't know if you can make it see your chat. I think you can. I can see my chat on my phone when I'm doing it when I'm doing live streaming, but I've never tried it on Zoom, which we're on right now, because I don't use my phone for Zoom. I've got the main thing going on the computer. So.
Yeah, but the chat isn't in Zoom; it's in the YouTube. You're streaming to YouTube, right?
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know if there's any way for you to do it with your phone.
So, I don't think so,
because the chat is on YouTube and not on the Zoom chat.
Let me see here.
And there's no way to do that I know of without adding some other programs, which I could do, but that's more shit to learn, and I don't feel like it right now.
Right, gotcha.
Money Boots, that's his. He could do that with, because he's got a couple different things set up where he can do that, and it shows the chat right on the screen. But I'm slowly learning some of those other ones that he's using, but I'm not all the way there yet. So
I think he's using Streamlabs, isn't he?
I'm using Streamlabs, but he's using a couple other things too to make the chat come up on Streamlabs and on YouTube together. So let's see what else is going on in the chat. That is called a Hangout. Well, Hangout is Google Hangouts, unless one of the other programs calls it Hangouts. But we used to use Hangouts here, Google Hangouts, but I found that
Zoom
do a lot
is much
more
better
with the Zoom call, and you can. I forgot the name of it, but you can protect your Zoom call.
You can encrypt it.
Yeah, encrypt it. That's the word. You can encrypt this, and you can't encrypt the other, as far as I know, unless there's some other programs you can run it through to do it. Let's see. What else is going on in the chat? Looks like the chat's going pretty well. I don't see much crap going on in there. Which I asked the moderators to be gentle in their moderation, but
did you add that person I said I asked you about adding for a moderator? Do I need to give you the contact information?
Well, if she comes on here, I can do it right here.
Okay.
I believe when the chat's running. Yeah, I could do it right here, but I don't remember what the name was right now.
Okay, I'll get with you about it. I'll text it all over to you.
It's a little bit harder to do it in the back end, but I can do it there too. I know how to do it. It's not that hard once you learn. But if they're on the chat, I can, right here on the chat, I can just push a couple buttons and make them moderators. But all of you guys in NAIR are moderators, and I've added a couple other ones. But so far, they're being fairly gentle with the, from what I can tell, with the moderation, and there's not too much to be controlling. But I haven't been watching it the whole time. Hey, the moderator, $100 donation. Thank you, sir. And for anybody that wants to donate, if they go to any of one of us, but this is just for me. If you use donate to me, it's all going to NAIR, unless you leave a specific note saying you want it to go to something else, like equipment or travel or whatever, or for me just to decide however I want to use it. But automatically right now, anything I make on the donations go to NAIR and its legal fund and get that thing set up, unless you leave me a message that otherwise. Let's see, what else is going on in the chat? Do you have anything else that you specifically would like to add in before I forget or anything?
No, I'm fixing to have to get off here though in a minute.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting ready to go to. Is I want to kind of wind things up. I usually don't really do real long live streams unless I just get on just to visit with everybody, and that's just the way it turns out. I mean, we did like 4 hours one night, but it was just, we were having a lot of fun, just, you know, messing around. Yeah, I don't usually do that long. All right, so hopefully we will have more things from there going for y'all later. We're working on a video right now, and for part of it, and we're working on the other side to get it more organized and get the funds together to get it going. We'll all keep y'all, you know, apprised of what's going on as often as we feel like there's something there to let y'all know about. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody, and thanks again for being here. And David, thank you for being here.
Always good to connect with the public.
Yeah, it is. It is. And folks, I may go on later tonight just to visit and goof off. So I think I'm going to go get me a 6-pack, because I know if I drink a 6-pack, I won't get drunk and get stupid. Well, I don't get too stupid anyway. But
Andy says she likes you drunk and stupid.
Yeah, that's right. She does like me drunk and stupid.
You're easy.
Yeah, she says I'm easy that way. I'm a cheap drunk. All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks to the moderators and everybody else too that has been showing us so much support and love, and we really appreciate it. It does mean a lot to us. So we'll see y'all later. David, thanks for stopping by.
No problem. Everybody be safe.
All right, you too.